for close to 20 years. He is absolutely fantastic. Patrick Snow is an international best-selling author, professional keynote speaker, publishing, speaking, and book marketing coach. He first discovered his gift for speaking at the age of 17 while giving the pregame speeches to his high school football team. Since then, Patrick has electrified more than 3,500 audiences on 4 continents to achieve their individual and organizational destinies. Patrick is the author of many books, including the international bestseller, Creating Your Own Destiny, which has sold upwards of 1 million copies in 5 languages and 108 countries worldwide since 2001. This book and his second book, The Affluent Entrepreneur, have both been purchased by John Wiley & Sons in New York and published under their imprint. Originally from Michigan, Patrick graduated from the University of Montana in 1991. He lived in the Seattle area for more than 20 years until 2013, when he achieved his lifelong dream and moved to beautiful island of Maui, Hawaii. In Patrick's 25-minute talk, he will share Creating Your Own Destiny, how to get exactly what you want out of life and work. Join me in welcoming Patrick Snow, the Dean of Destiny. Patrick Snow.
Wow, Mary, thank you so very much. That could very well be the absolute best speaker introduction that I've ever written. So thank you for so eloquently sharing that. And Mary, I so appreciate you. I actually placed a business card on a bulletin board in Poulsbo, Washington around 2002 or 2003. And Mary took that business card home and called me up and asked me to join her networking group. And I said, well, I'm too busy. I can't join. I can't go every week. And she said, and then she called me back like a couple of days later. And she said, I want to buy $1,000 worth of books from you to resell and make money on that. And I said, well, maybe I should reconsider joining that networking group. And certainly I did. And Mary and I have had a fantastic friendship, relationship ever since. And she's one of my favorite people in the world. So Mary, thank you for the great introduction. Thank you for the introduction to Cindy. And Cindy, I got to tell you, holy cows, exceptional connections. What a brilliant leader you are to put this together. I love the content. You are a natural born leader and a great entrepreneur, and I'm thrilled to participate with this to you today. So thank you very much. Chuck, I loved your message at the very beginning. Awesome, awesome message on business. Thank you for sharing that. Also, I see many of my friends on here, Margie and Margie Thompson and Norm. They've been to Maui to visit me, and love those guys. And so Margie, great seeing you. Marley Huber, you're one of my favorites too. Thank you for being who you are. You're a gem of a human being, and so thrilled with all you've done in your world, and I so appreciate our friendship. And then David Brook. David, you and I have been friends for years and years and years, and so thank you for joining today. And I'm humbled. I mean, I feel like, at 53 years old, I'm not going to teach you guys a darn thing today. And the reason why is at my age of 53, after hearing from all of you do your introductions, I am convinced that I know that I can learn more from you than you can learn from me. So my goal today is not to teach you guys a darn thing. My goal today is to humor you, to entertain and inspire you, but most importantly, my goal is to remind you of all those things that you've already learned. So is that fair enough? So over the next 20 to 25 minutes, I'm going to remind you of what you know, and then I'm going to challenge you to take action on that knowledge. So let's dive in and begin. So anytime we talk about creating your own destiny, I hear the same things over and over and over again. Oh, you know that creating your own destiny stuff, Patrick, that's for those young 20 and 30 somethings. And I'm now 40, 50, 60, 70, and it's too late for me. Or you know what, that creating your own destiny, I'd like to do that, but I'm fearful of the process or fearful of the results. Or you know what, I'm so busy creating someone else's destiny, maybe that of your children, of your spouse, that you don't have time to create your own. Or maybe this question, how many of you want to create your own destiny, but you don't know how? And because you don't know how you're going to create your own destiny, you let the lack of not knowing how stop you in your tracks. So these are some of the issues and challenges and questions we're going to talk about in the moments to come. And hey, there's Norm Thompson. How you doing, my good friend Norm? I love you, man. So good to see you. So first, let's define destiny. Destiny is defined as fate. If you looked up fate in the dictionary, you'd find that fate is defined as the supposed force that predetermines all the events which occur in your lifetime. So my question to you is, what do you suppose that supposed force is in your lives that predetermines your destiny? And guess what? It's not the flu that we've experienced the last 2 years. It's not your bank account. It's not your education. It's not your level of income. The supposed force that predetermined your destiny is your mind. You're absolutely right, Dave Blanchard. It is your mind. Henry Ford said it best. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right. So creating your own destiny means when your mind believes your goals to be true, it attracts you to the people, the places, and the circumstances necessary to convert your mental images into a physical reality. And that conversion process is what the law of attraction is all about. And this is why I'm absolutely so thrilled to meet CyndiONeill-Dady, because this is what she teaches, is law of attraction, right? Your net worth is determined by the size of your net work. You've heard that again and again. And what a beautiful, beautiful forum that she's created these last 12 to 15 years for you guys to participate in this. So how does one create your own destiny? The way that we do it is understand first what we all want. We want more time, more money, more freedom, more health, more love, more happiness in life. And especially in today's day and age, we want our freedom. It's all about freedom. So the problem is, how many of us can get what we want if we don't control the captain of our ship, if we don't control our destiny, right? So our challenge is, how many of you, by your raise of hands, want more time, more money, more freedom, more health, more love, more happiness? Raise your hand if you want that. So I learned as a young man, my mother and father said, Patrick, you can achieve any dream, any goal that you want, as long as you are willing to work hard enough at it. So when I was a kid, they said, here's how washer and dryer work. So if you want clean clothes, you need to do your own laundry. And oh, by the way, we're giving you food for lunch money, and that's it. No allowance. And you got to do these chores just to have a house to live in. So if you want to make money, you got to go out and make it yourself. So I started shoveling snow. I started mowing grass. I started delivering newspapers. And in the 7th grade, I started selling Detroit Free Prep subscriptions in Michigan, door to door, every Tuesday night and every Thursday night for 2 to 3 hours a night. And I was making $100 on a Tuesday night and $120 on a Thursday night. I was making $1,000 a month at 13 years old. That's a pretty good gig. And then I thought, you know what I need to do is I need to go get a job. So in high school, I went to work for this burger outfit called Burger Ranch. And I earned $3.35 an hour. And I had to take 2 showers every night when I got home to get that grease smell off of me, right? And I'd get my paycheck. And after 2 weeks, my paycheck would be $53.17. And then I remembered, wait a minute, back when I was an entrepreneur, I would make $120 in one night. Now it's taken me 3 weeks as an employee to earn $53.17. And when I was selling Detroit Free Press subscriptions door to door, I didn't need to take 2 showers when I got home. So I learned early on that the way that you create your own destiny, the way that you become the captain of your ship, the way that you become a victor instead of a victim is to own and operate your own business. And I'm preaching to the choir because everybody here already owns and operates their own business. But you need to teach your children, your grandchildren this message. That as long as you're working for somebody else, you're funding someone else's retirement, funding someone else's dream. If you want to fund your own destiny, you need to own and operate your own business. And the way to do that is to take an inventory of your most marketable passions and then transform those most marketable passions into your profession. And when you do that, you will become an unstoppable force of power, fully capable of achieving your destiny. So early in my speaking career, I had a beautiful opportunity to meet Zig Ziglar. And Zig Ziglar taught me one thing that changed my life as an entrepreneur. And you've heard this before, but Zig said this. He said, you can have everything in your life that you want as an entrepreneur, as long as you dedicate the rest of your life to helping others get what they want. I was 34 years old when he told me that quote in the Tacoma Dome after hearing him speak. And from that point forward, I set my soul level mission and goal to love, serve, heal, and inspire humanity through speaking, through coaching, through my books. And that's our challenge as an entrepreneur, is we're not an entrepreneur to make money. We're an entrepreneur to live out our soul level mission and goal. And mine happens to be love, serve, heal, and inspire. And I'm sure yours is some of the same thing. So once we figure that out, now we need to create our vision. My mentor taught me this: we got to taste our vision, touch our vision, smell our vision, emotionalize our vision, and finally own our visions. And once we learn to own our visions, the how slowly presents itself over time. One of the reasons why I left Washington State 8 years ago and moved to Maui, Hawaii, because I have a vision to own my own NFL football team, the Hawaii Tiger Sharks. And you're probably thinking, who's this crazy speaker and author? How are you going to raise $3 to $5 billion to buy an NFL team? And you know what my answer is? Guess what? I have no idea. And the point is, you don't need to know the how. You need to own, taste, touch, feel, and smell, and emotionalize that vision. And once you own your visions, the how will present itself over time. But to do that, you have to take the leadership role in your life. If it's to be, it's up to me, right? You can't wait for somebody else. Nobody else is going to achieve your dreams, goals, and visions. You have to take that self-leadership role. So my leadership quote says this, that leadership is not given. Leadership is taken. And you, Cindy, Danny, Judy, Nancy, Margie, Tamara, Amy, Victoria, Jenny, David, Karen, Chuck, Mary, Kathy, Joy, Dave, Victoria, Claire, Gail, Amanda, Marley, and Debbie, and Norm, you need to be the one that takes that leadership role in your life. And so what I'm going to do is share with you 8 business building strategies that I've executed since being an entrepreneur now for about 40 years. Back in the days of 1983, selling Detroit Free Press subscriptions door to door. I'm going to share with you 8 of the greatest entrepreneurial business building strategies that I've executed in those 40 years, and they all work. And I want to ask you, how many of these 8 are you doing? And if you're not doing all 8, I'm going to challenge you today to add 1 or 2 more of these to your repertoire. So number 1, my friend S. Truett Cathy, who owns Chick-fil-A, before he passed, we met at a National Speakers Association conference in Portland, Oregon. He got on the elevator. We traded books. We became friends. And you know that S. Truett Cathy and Chick-fil-A, they can't afford to advertise like McDonald's does. So he taught me a principle that marketing and advertising are a component of the same business plan. But advertising is very, very expensive. Sometimes doesn't work. Marketing is much, much less effective and sometimes is free. I posted a business card on a bulletin board at a Central Market grocery store 18 years ago. And Mary and I have done all kinds of wonderful things together since then. That's marketing. So my challenge to you is, number 1, focus on marketing your business, which can be free, instead of advertising your business, which is very expensive, sometimes ineffective. Number 2, in business, I made all the mistakes that you could make. I even asked a woman one day how many months pregnant she was, and I learned that she wasn't pregnant, and I realized I will never ask a woman that ever again. One time I ripped the seat of my pants out on a sales call, and I had to walk out backwards with a big hole in my rear end so that nobody could see that I had ripped out the seat of my pants. I've made every mistake in business that you can make. But here's one thing that I've learned that's more important than any mathematical formula that you'll ever learn in school. And that is the sales success formula. And face it, friends buy from friends and people buy from those they know, like, and trust. So instead of going out and trying to make more sales, I want you to go out and make more friends. So here's the formula. It's trust plus respect plus need plus asking equals the dollar sign. T plus R plus N plus A equals the money symbol. And I want you to circle the A. T plus R plus N plus A equals money. So go out there, build trust with your prospects, develop respect with your prospects, qualify their need, and then you must ASK to GET. If you don't ask, you won't get. That's number 2. Number 3 is the rule of 7. Napoleon Hill, in his book, The Law of Success, says on average, it takes 7 bits of communication between buyer and seller for sale to transpire. 7. Forbes magazine says the average sales professional gives up on their prospect after just 3 bits of communication. You need to do 7. I will call a meeting planner for speaking engagement or a coaching client once every week, once every 2 weeks, a text, an email, a phone call every week until they hire me. I don't call them every day. I don't text them every day. They'll think I'm psychotic. But you touch and you drip on your prospect once every week to 2 weeks. And then great things will happen. And when you hit 7 bits of communication, don't be surprised if they've already hired you. Number 4, the 50% rule. 50% rule says that we are the president of our company, but we're also the janitor. We're the accounts payable and the accounts receivable. We're also the marketing and salesperson. What I want you to do is wear that sales hat 50% of your time and spend 50% of your working hours prospecting, 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 prospecting. So how do we prospect? Number 5, understand and memorize this quote. You cannot improve that which you don't measure, or that which you don't measure, you cannot improve. So what I've done is I've taken this little shot glass and I have 30 of these $1 Sacagawea coins in this shot glass. Every one of these coins represents a revenue producing activity. Every morning I take these coins and I pour them onto my desk. And then every time I do a revenue producing activity, I pop a coin back in the cup. And I can't finish my day until I get all 30 coins back in the cup. And if you do the math, 30 times 5 is 150 revenue producing activities a week. Times 4 is 600. Times 12 is 7,200 revenue producing activities a year. This is phone calls, emails, texts, social media posts, Facebook messaging, doing a presentation on a Zoom call. Today, I got 25 people on this line. I'm able to move 25 coins in 25 minutes. How cool is that? And people say, Patrick, how come you don't have a job? Because I'm unemployable. I retired at 34 years old. I quit my job and I said, I'm done. And everybody said, that's the biggest mistake that you've ever made. I haven't worked a day in my life in 34 years. I'm sorry, since I was 34 years old, 19 years. Haven't worked a day in my life. I'm not working this morning. Because of this. Because I spend 50% of my working hours prospecting. Number 6, everybody's out there marketing and selling, marketing and selling, marketing and selling. I don't want you to market and sell. I want you to serve and connect, serve and connect, serve and connect, serve and connect. Number 7, I want you to walk a mile in your prospect's shoes. Mary West booked a $15,000 speaking engagement for me at Subway about 12 years ago. And they said, Patrick, we got bad news for you. We can't pay you the $25,000 fee. The good news is we're going to pay you one-night hotel, round-trip airline ticket to Chicago, and we're going to give you $15,000. And I said, well, before you do that, there's one bit of concern. And they said, what are you doing? We're paying you. You can't put conditions on this. I said, do you want me to go speak in front of 10,000 franchisees that own Subways? I've never owned a Subway. You need to allow me to volunteer a 4-hour lunch shift to put on the green hat, to put on the robe, to bake the bread, to take out the trash, to make the sandwiches. And they said, we've been booking speakers for 20 years, Patrick. Never once have we ever had a speaker volunteer to do a 4-hour lunch shift before a speech. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm not volunteering. You're paying me $7,500 one day to make sandwiches and then $7,500 one day to speak. You see how that works? But that's what it means to walk a mile in the shoes of your prospect. And finally, number 8, the world's greatest marketing secret in the history of all business is to write and publish a book. Use that book as your platform from which you can stand on to launch your speaking, your coaching, and your consulting career. And as a professional speaker, as an author, as a coach, if any of you are interested in a complimentary, no obligation, 30 to 60 minute publishing, speaking, coaching, book marketing consultation, send me a text with your name and your time zone to 206-310-1200. Again, name and time zone. Let me know that you heard about me on Exceptional Connections, and I'd be honored and thrilled to offer you a complimentary consultation. And by the way, Mary and Cindy asked me to give you guys some freebies. So I'm going to give you guys 5 freebies today. Number 1, a complimentary 30 to 60 minute consultation if anybody wants to write a book. Number 2, 21 mistakes to avoid when writing and publishing your book. Number 3, 12 tips to triple your coaching income. Number 4, 20 professional speaker secrets. And then number 5, 6, and 7, I'm going to send you copies of all 3 of my books in the ebook format. That is Creating Your Own Destiny, The Affluent Entrepreneur, and Boy Entrepreneur. And the way that you redeem your freebies is to send me an email, patrick@patricksnow.com. Again, patrick@patricksnow.com. And that's how you get your freebies. So we're going to finish up. The way that you create your own destiny is to do 4 things. Number 1, you got to dream. Number 2, you got to plan. Number 3, you got to execute. And number 4, you got to soar. But to do that, you got to overcome your fears. So David Joseph Schwartz said it best. He said, do what you fear and the fear will disappear. Do what you fear and the fear will disappear. So I want to end my speech today with one of the greatest poems or quotes that I've ever heard or read from anybody about creating your own destiny, about creating and building your dreams, goals, and visions. And for me, it's about doing my soul level mission and goal of love, serve, heal, and inspire. And this quote comes from Steve Pressfield. He's the author of the book, The War of Art. And I'm going to finish with this quote. He says, are you a born writer? Were you put on this earth to be a painter, a scientist, an apostle of peace? In the end, the question can only be answered by action. Either do it or don't. It may help you to think of it this way. If you were meant to cure cancer, write a symphony, crack cold fusion, if you don't do it, you not only hurt yourself, but you destroy yourself. You hurt your children, you hurt me, you hurt the planet. You shame the angels who watch over you, and you spite the Almighty God who created you, only you with your unique gifts for the sole purpose of nudging the human race 1 millimeter further along its path back to God. See, creative work, being an entrepreneur, writing and publishing a book is not a selfish act or a bid for attention by the art of the actor. It is a gift to the world. And everything and everyone being in it. So don't cheat us of your contribution. Give us what you got. So in summary, I ask you these questions. If not you, then who? Nobody else has your skill sets, your DNA, your abilities, your connections, your network. If not this, then what? See, being an employee is overrated. It doesn't work. You can't get more out of life. So if not you, then who? If not this, then what? If not now, then when? And when my father passed 5 years ago, I learned that tomorrows are not promised and they never have been. So we got to learn to take action now. And so finally, if not here, then where? Wherever you are on your journey of life, you are fully positioned to go after and think it, ink it, believe it, and achieve it. And once you learn to believe in yourself, you become an unstoppable force of power, fully capable of achieving your destiny. My name is Patrick Snow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Patrick. Oh my goodness, that was so inspirational. That was beautiful. I see people tearing up because it was so heartfelt. You gave us some great content, great reminders, and great inspiration to take into the new year. So thank you so much, Patrick.
You're most welcome. Thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, well, we are honored. And so I want to give you guys an opportunity. We call them takeaways, shout outs, epiphanies, ahas. Unmute yourself. This is what we want to invite you to is this is really a teaser. Patrick sharing with us for 25-ish minutes was just a teaser to get you inspired. And we invite you to join us next Wednesday. You're going to hear more about this towards the end of the program, but I just want to have you put it on your calendar since you just heard him. And so put Wednesday, February 16th from noon to 1. So we have a complimentary conversation to connect. Patrick and I are going to be really talking about this topic that he's talked about today, but delving in a little deeper. And you will have the unique opportunity to ask him questions at the end of the 45-minute talk. So please do join us. You can, I'll be including the link to the YouTube replay and all that in the post-event Eventbrite. So without further ado, what we want to do is any ahas, epiphanies, any insights that you got from his talk, now's the time to share. Save your questions though for next Wednesday. So Amanda, take it away. I see that you wanted to share.
Thank you. Yeah, I think a big aha for me and definitely aligns with my philosophy is when he talked about, serving alongside, really understanding in the subway, when he was speaking for them, he wanted to know. And it's so important, I think, for us to understand and to put ourselves in that space. And it also helps us, I think, really connect with those that we want to serve. So that was a great aha moment for me.
Beautiful. Danny.
A couple of things that really come to mind for me that I thought was really powerful. If not me, then who? And my playing small or playing quiet is actually not about me. It's, robbing from other people. So to not hold that gift back. The other piece that was very powerful is the touches, rule of 7, and how often I can stop after 2 or 3 or 4 touches and just stop. Okay, well, maybe that's enough, and they're not communicating, so that's enough. But to go to 7, to keep touching.
Yes, beautiful reminder. So Patrick, you're welcome to chime in at any time. Kathy.
Oh, well, I'm just humbled and thank you. You're absolutely right, Danny. We all have gifts, and if we're not sharing those gifts with the world, what's the purpose of our life? The purpose of our life is to find your passion and then spend the rest of your life giving it away. Sometimes you get paid for it, sometimes you don't.
But it always comes back around. Kathy, go ahead.
Patrick made a couple of statements that really blew me away. One of them was, because this resonates with me so much, do what you fear and the fear will disappear. I have so many times in my life spent the time fearing putting myself out there that I didn't do it. And, so that really resonated with me. And then right after that, either do it or don't. I realized, yeah, you're right. Either do it or don't, there's projects that I have started or am starting, and I just am holding back. And so either do it or don't. It was really a statement, a strong one.
Well, Kathy, write this down. Catherine, this is a favorite quote of mine from my friend Les Brown, who said, never, under any circumstance, let someone else's opinion of you determine your reality. Never let someone else's opinion of you determine your reality. And in the real world, 90% of the people out there are going to love on you, love your dreams, your goals, your visions. They're going to love on your products and services. And the 10%ers of those frenemies, people that we think are our friends, but they're really our enemies, they're just jealous of the fact that we've achieved their goals. And so we just got to bless their heart and let them go.
Right.
Don't let anybody else's stinking thinking become your reality.
Yep. Thank you.
Great
Thank you.
reminder, stinking thinking. We don't want any stinking thinking. Anybody else? Round us off here before we finish.
I'd like
Any
to-
other? Go ahead and unmute yourself and just raise your hand.
So this is Karen. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of these sales principles before, but I really like the second one where you said the T plus R plus N plus A equals money. I like that one. I've
That's a
always
good one.
known the trust, respect, and need, but it's the ask. I always forget the ask.
And that's why you got to circle the A. That's the most
Mhm.
important part.
Right.
And ask is get. I like that too, right?
ASK.
Because that's the only
to
way you can get it.
GET.
That's the missing link.
Yeah.
Mary.
Yeah, I love how he always says you have to ASK to GET. So, but also in his first book, Creating Your Own Destiny, my favorite chapter is overcoming your fears. And so it's a great book along with the other books he has.
And I've got a comment that I'll share with you because all of us, sometimes it's not natural to promote our business. Sometimes we play small. Sometimes we're concerned about how the market will take us. Sometimes we're concerned about what our relatives think. But if we don't stand up and shout out to the world and tell the world who we are, what we stand for, what we believe in, nobody else is going to do it for us. So I share this a lot and people really don't like this. It kind of slaps them in the face. And there's nothing disrespectful about these two organizations that I'm going to mention here. But if we don't get comfortable in our own skin promoting our business, then as we age, we're going to have to get comfortable memorizing two other things. And I'm always telling people, memorize a coaching offer, make a coaching script, give people an opportunity to sample your services. And I always tell people, if you don't do that, then you're going to have to memorize two other scripts. And one of them is welcome to McDonald's. How can I help you? Or, and may I supersize your dry and frank order, or, welcome to Walmart. How can I help you? And nothing negative against those two organizations, but I can't help when I walk into either of those institutions and you see the people in their 60s, 70s, 80s that are working there, and you look them in the eye and you know they'd rather be with their children or grandchildren, but because they've never gained that confidence to do what all of you guys are doing in terms of promoting yourself, growing your business, they're stuck having to get a job from somebody else, and that time is robbing time from their grandchildren.
Amen. That's a beautiful way to close. Thank you so much for that, Patrick. So remember Patrick's fabulous freebies, and he added 2 extras. So be sure to email him at patrick@patricksnow.com or text him. He's generously given his number. He wants your name, number, and email and time zone, and Patrick will get back to you because he knows how to follow up, right? So thanks so much. I'm going to stop the recording here.